A pirate got his ears pierced. It only cost him $1 an ear. Hello and welcome to Assorted Meeples. I'm Phillip the Meeple on duty, and today we are talking about Sale from Allplay. It has arrived, and me and Heather have got a play in already, and let me tell you, it was wonderful. But we'll get into that in a bit. First, I really kind of want to talk about how the game plays and all that. This is the only game of the 4 that they had on that Kickstarter that I backed, which is surprising because I paid extra for this game because, let's face it, it's a trick-taking, cooperative, pirate-themed game for 2 players. So they had my attention right from the start. Let's talk about what's going on in here. You are going to have your pirate crew member that gives you a special ability. You're going to be playing cards from your hand, taking tricks or losing tricks, and you're going to be moving your ship back and forth and forward across the water. Now, you're going to get dealt 9 hands in a normal trick-taking game fashion. You're going to take one and give it to your partner. They're going to do the same. Then you're going to start. Now, all the cards are dealt, have a numeric value on the top as well as a symbol at the top. The numeric value is there for when both of you have played. The higher numeric value wins the trick, and you go up your trick-taking thing. If you get to, one player gets to 4 trick wins, or when they take their 4th one, the round is over. You reshuffle cards, and there are a couple other end-of-round things that you're going to do. The symbols underneath represent what's going to happen on the board in the game state, and this is where the fun strategy of it comes into play. Because, again, you're not trying to take tricks yourself to win, you're trying to take tricks or lose tricks to advance the ship to safety, because you're trying to get your little ship past the islands and past the Kraken tentacles all the way to the safe place. And past storms. Now, that's where the symbols come in. Let's talk about the Kraken really quick. You can't kill the Kraken. You can hurt it. You can take damage from it, but you can't kill it. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you take damage, the Kraken deck right over here starts with all the 1s and 2s. And when you take damage, you're going to take that and place it in the discard pile that you and your partner are using. With more of those in the deck, those all have tentacles which cause damage, so more damage is going to come out and more damage is going to happen. If you ever get to the point where there is nothing in the deck but the Kraken card and you need to draw it or take damage for it, you automatically lose the game. If you ever have to take more damage than you have cards for, then you're going to lose the game. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. I'm actually kind of flying through this pretty quickly. The bottom symbols is where you're playing this game, and the numbers are for who wins and where that push and pull comes in. But the symbols sets that you're going to try and get are going to be where it's at. So if you get double steering wheels, you're going to move the ship towards the player that won. So the ship is never moving in a straight line. It's either moving towards your opponent or towards you. And you're just trying to avoid the islands and the tentacles as much as you can. Now, there are cards with the tentacle and a steering wheel. If you get one of those cards plus a steering wheel, you're going to take 1 damage, but you're still going to move forward and you're going to, or towards the victor of the trick. If you have the repeat, where you have two cards that are the steering wheel and the tentacle, you're going to move forward 1, but you're also going to take 2 damage, which gets pretty scary pretty fast. Now, if you play one of those steering wheel and tentacle cards with a cannon, The tentacle steering wheel card goes to the bottom of the Kraken deck. So when that Kraken card comes up, it gets shuffled up and put on the bottom. If you get 2 whale tails, you're going to move forward straight 1. The board is actually diamonds, so that's why you can't move straight all the time. But if you get 2 whale tails, you get to move straight 1 space. If you get 2 cannons, you're going to flip over the top card of the player pile, and you're going to use a fun little graph on the back here. If you get a steering wheel off that card, you're going to move towards the victor 1 point. If you get a steering wheel and a tentacle card, it's going to go on the bottom of the Kraken deck. If you get the whale tail, it's going to move your ship straight forward. And if you get a cannon, you're going to flip over another card. And if you happen to keep hitting cannons, you're going to do that until you find one that is one of the top ones. Now, if you get any other combination of cards, nothing happens and your ship just sits there. Now, some other things to remember. In the third round, at the start of the 3rd round and the start of the 5th round, you're going to have to be past the storm clouds that the setup says that you need to be past. So if you're past those, you're good. If you haven't made it past there yet, you lose the game. The way to win is to get your ship successfully to the safe area marked out off your scenario. Now, this game, the regular box comes with just a learning scenario and 5 scenarios total. Plus, in the expansion, which I have, there's another, I can't remember how many it is, and I haven't got it out to look at it. I like to keep expansions separate until I know we like them mixed together, and then I worry about it. So you have 6 scenarios plus some, and then as long as you're creative, you can lay out stuff to make this game as hard or as easy as you want, depending on how good you are. Trick-taking games and working together to get it done. Me and Heather were not. It was a rough game, even just going across a tiny little bit of the board. The rules for this are fairly straightforward and easy to understand, but I had a very hard time mentally jumping to a trick-taking game that is cooperative. And once those kind of clicked in and kind of got a full idea of what we were doing, then it was much better. The artwork, the wooden bits, the cards, everything from color choices to build to art style, all work for me. I love it. It's great. The only problem I could see is that these cards may be a little hard for if you are pretty hard colorblind, although I think they did a good job of getting it far enough away that you should be able to tell. This is one that I think is going to stay in our 2-player collection that I have been growing steadily, and I look forward to playing it more with my wife. So, thank you all for watching.
If you like what you just saw, please support us by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more great gaming content.